Hey, it's Sal, and welcome to my review of Escape Room Tournament of Champions, which opens in theaters on July 16th. So I saw Escape Room 2019 when it came out in theaters, and I thought it was a pretty okay movie. It wasn't great, it certainly wasn't even good. With this film going in, I expected it to be entertaining and at least keep me focused for its 90-minute runtime. However, this film did not manage to do that. I think it was sillier than the first, and the novelty wears off after one film. The first 5 minutes of this movie actually tricked me into thinking that it would be better than the first, with a great opening therapy session, about 5 minutes long. That's not a spoiler, it's in the beginning of the movie. But Taylor Russell, our main actress, does a very good job, and there's tension building to something that doesn't really deliver. And there's a small payoff at the end, but I don't know if it was worth going through that, because the film never connects it back to the character. So after the first 5 minutes, things start to get a little bit messy. We follow our main characters around, Logan Miller and Taylor Russell, and things are okay. You sort of learn a little bit about who they are and their motivations, which was good. I think in this film there was more character development as compared to the first, and you felt more connected to the characters, probably already because there was one movie. However, because you know a lot about these characters now, it allows you to question certain motivations and certain developments that happen later on. And they're very contradictory, so the movie will tell you that a certain character behaves a certain way, and later on they will do something that is completely different from what the movie told you they are like. And this happens multiple times, time and time again, and it really bothered me. It really took me out of the movie. And that was a feeling I had multiple times. I felt sort of taken out of the movie, and I checked out and I said, I don't know what's going on anymore. So that's sort of one way it happened. Another way it happened was through the puzzles. So the puzzles felt to me not as good as the first Escape Room, and they felt even beyond that cheaper. I think they weren't as suspenseful as they were in the first, or as suspenseful as they could have been. And in particular, one puzzle near the end feels very cheap, and I think it was like that intentionally, but overall the puzzles just feel cheaper and not as exciting as the first. Now, here's a little bit of justification for why I think the puzzles were cheap. In the beginning, there's a scene with Logan Miller, and I'm not going to ruin it, but you feel that it's cheap intentionally, because I felt, wow, this is very cheap. And then something happened and it made sense. But once the puzzles kept coming, and I saw that it was going to be like this the entire way, I felt extremely disappointed, and I felt betrayed because I thought that the movie was going to get better, and it didn't. Now, there's a lot of inexplicable things that happen in the movie. Obviously, the characters know everything, right? Left and right, there's clues, and they got the answers, and they know it, and I certainly wouldn't be able to do that, and I don't think most people would. But it's a movie, and you sort of just let that slide, but it just got ridiculous. I didn't have a problem with it the first time around, so I don't know why this feels slightly more like cheating. Now, another thing that really didn't work for me was some of the acting, especially our male counterparts to Logan Miller. Now, not only was their acting the most cringeworthy, but so were their characters. One character in particular plays a sort of religious person, and religion is brought up multiple times, and I didn't know why. And I expected that there would be an answer at the end of the movie, and there wasn't. So it felt kind of just thrown in there and then thrown out, and I don't know why, and that happened a lot in this movie. Now, speaking of cringeworthy, let's go on to the jokes. I didn't find this movie that funny, and there were countless times when I knew that they wanted me to laugh. There were jokes in there that just didn't land, unfortunately. And that really just lowered the film again. Now, you may be thinking that I'm criticizing this film too heavily and I'm thinking about it too much, but really, all I wanted was an entertaining movie going in that I could enjoy, that I could look at the puzzles and try and figure them out and follow the characters and see who is behind this. And it's only a 90-minute movie, so I definitely should not have checked out as much as I did. The jokes, the cringeworthy acting, the awful dialogue. The dialogue was worse than the first. And the characters just accept everything. This is being said, and this happens. This is being said, and this happens, and the characters accept it, even if it's silly. And this really bothers me because the fact that the characters will accept anything leads me to believe that the people making this movie thought that we would accept everything. And I didn't. I didn't accept most of the movie. Now, I certainly wouldn't like to end this review on a negative note, so let's talk a little bit about the positives. I think some scenes were suspenseful and they built tension very nicely. There weren't that many, but when there were, you certainly felt attached to the characters and you felt attached to the story. And this is probably mostly due to Taylor Russell and Logan Miller. I think they do a fantastic job. That's why they're back. And props to Holland Roden and India Moore as well. I think they do a very good job as well. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer and you plan on seeing this movie, I think you should skip the trailer, just go straight into the movie. I think it gives out too much for my liking. If you have seen it, it doesn't ruin everything. It ruins certain points that I think shouldn't have been ruined. And there's a line that really just gives away how cringy the movie's gonna be. What is this? Like a tournament of champions? If you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about.
You guys have played the game before?
So what is this? Like a tournament of champions?
Now, in the movie, something happens with that line and it really, really, really bothered me. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is. So overall, this is a less than okay movie. If you're gonna go see it, you'll have an okay time. I think it's not terrible. I've seen better. I wish this was better. Escape Room 1 was better. But they certainly want to make another one based on the way that this ended. And I think they're going to get it. I think this movie would do okay. So overall, I'm going to give Escape Room Tournament of Champions a 3 out of 10. So let me know your thoughts on the movie. Let me know your thoughts on the review. Are you going to see this movie? Did you watch the trailer? What did you think? Subscribe, click the little notification bell, and comment down below. Thank you for sticking through to the end, and I'll see you next time.
So what is this? Like a tournament of champions?